Hello friends, I am Professor Smita Jha from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and as we all know that we are doing research methodology. Well, today I am going to discuss one of the very important aspects of research methodology called container, because research methodology is a scientific subject dealing with the various steps of research persuasion or research studies. So let us see that how do we define what is a container and what are the important aspects of this. So in the context of research methodology and journals, a container refers to the larger work that holds the specific article or source you are citing. For example, a journal is the container for a published article and a book is the container for an essay within that book. The container title is italicized and followed by a comma in citation styles like MLA. A research journal is a periodical that contains articles written by experts in a particular field of study who report the results of research in that field. The articles are intended to be read by other experts or students of the field, and they are typically much more sophisticated and advanced than the articles found in general magazines. Now, what is a container? That is important. So, a container is the work that encapsulates another work. It is the larger entity that houses the specific piece you are referencing. For example, a journal is the container for an article. A website is the container for a web page or post. A book is the container for an essay, chapter, or poem within. Why it is so important? Let us know about it. Identifying the container is crucial for properly citing and referencing your resources. It helps others locate the specific work you are using. In citation style like MLA, the container title is generally italicized and followed by a comma. So, in the context of research methodology, a journal can be considered a container for scholarly articles, much like a container holds good for shipping. The journal provides the framework for publishing research findings, providing a structured environment to house articles. This container function allows for organized dissemination of research and facilitates the scholarly community's access to and review of new knowledge. Now, a journal is a periodical publication that collects and publishes articles on a specific subject area or field of study. These journals are not simply random collection of papers, they are curated and peer reviewed, ensuring a certain level of quality and relevance. The journal acts as a container for the research articles, providing a structured and organized format for their publication and dissemination. So, research methodology within a journal context, how do we operate it? When a research article is published in a journal, it often includes a detailed methodology section. This section explains how the research was conducted, what methods were used, and why these methods were chosen. The journal as the container provides the platform for this methodology to be presented and scrutinized by other researchers. Now, what is the importance of journal as a container? The journal ensures that research is systematically organized and readily accessible. It facilitates peer review and critique, improving the quality and validity of the research. It provides a standardized format for research publication, making it easier for researchers to locate and compare studies. Now, for example, imagine a research paper on container scheduling in logistics. The journal as the container would house this research along with its methodology, data analysis, and conclusion. The methodology section within the article would detail the methods used to analyze container scheduling patterns, ensuring that other researchers can understand and potentially replicate the study. So, in the context of citation style like MLA, a container refers to the larger work that holds a specific source, such as an article in a journal or web page within a website. For journal articles, the journal itself is considered the container. A container is a work that contains another work. This means if you cite an article from a journal, the journal is the container that holds the article. So, I am repeating the definition again and again because you understand what the container is. Sometimes, students put the title of the paper under inverted comma, that is wrong. The journal. So, journal should be italicized, means written in italics. And the title of the paper should be written like this in a simple way, when in inverted comma can be. Now, other examples of container include a book containing essays or a short story collection, a website or database containing posts, comments or images, a TV series containing individual episodes. Now, the title of the container is italicized and included in the citation when citing sources that are part of a larger work, like a journal article. For example, if citing an article in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, the journal title is the container. Now, the title of the container is vital to the identification of the source. Place the title of the container in italics followed by a comma. The information that follows describes the cited work within the container, that is, other contributors, volume, number, pages, etc. Now, single container, for example, a journal article by Joe Royal was published in an online journal publishing research quarterly. Now, Royal Joe et al. Means Royal Joe is the main writer and there are more than 2-3 authors, so it is et al. The use of branding the trade publishers and investigation into marketing the book as a brand name product, and then the name of the container, that is in italics, then comma, then volume VOL dot, volume number, then comma, again number NO dot, whatever the number 456, comma, then year of publication 200199 something, and then page PP dot, and then whatever the page number with dash, and DOI you can mention if it is DOI publication. Other example of works within container like books. So, Baxin Patrick, now full stop, and then under inverted comma the essay title toward meta reading and inverted comma close, the future of the book. This is the name of the container as a book edited by Geoffrey Nanberg, whosoever, and the University of California publication, then year, and then page PP. Periodical, again the Baron Nomanies and full stop, name of the author, and then inverted comma containing the title of the paper, and if it is PMLA, the name of the journal, and then volume, comma, volume number, and then date of publication, whatever it is, January. So, in initially you can write the name of the month and the year full, and then PP, that is page number. Now, television series, because these days students are working a lot on the media and OTT. So, how to cite television series? So, Hush under inverted comma and full stop. Then Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it is the name of the series, created by Joss Whedon, performance by Sarah Michelle Gellar, comma, season 4, episode 10, comma, and Mutant Enemy, comma, and the year. And if you want to cite website, then Holly Michelle Stephanie, so the last name first, comma, and then the first name, full stop. Under inverted comma, the title of the subject, like the reading of the brain, differences between digital and print, inverted comma close, full stop. And then the website or the name of the container, so many books in italics, publication date, comma, 25th April and 2013. And then URL, you have to write the URL taking it straight from the website. Now, container within container. So, you may have more than a single container for a source, that is an article published in a journal, container 1, that is available in a database of journal such as JustStore. Container, a single episode that is part of a TV series, container 1, which is available through a service such as Foxtel, container 2. Some examples include like a journal / magazine / newspaper is the container of an article published in it. Then a website or database can be the container of a post, comment, review, song or audio file, image, ebook, etc. Then a vinyl album or CD is the container of a song. Then TV series, podcast and radio programs are the container of individual episodes. Blackboard or other learning management system is a container if something, lecture, PowerPoint slide, video is published on it. Facebook is the container of users, comments or posts. Then if a work is self-contained, that is print version of a novel or the original theatrical release of a film, the title of the container element is omitted and then you can write page whatsoever. Sometimes the source that you are citing has two containers. For example, for article found in a database, the first container is the name of the journal. The second container is the database where you found the article. Now note that a work can sometimes have two containers. A container can be nested in another container. When there is more than one container, include as much information as possible about each container to help the reader understand and locate the original source. These templates can be used as a guide to cite a work with two containers. Now the first is author, another is title of source. So container 1 is title of container, other contributions, version, number, publisher, publication date and location. Container 2, again the title of container, other contributors, version, number, publisher, publication date and location. Now examples of work with two containers like Gikandi Simon, this is the last name and the first name, full stop, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, then full stop, then Cambridge UP 2000 and then the container name ACLH Humanities ebook. And then the URL, entry you need to write, you need to copy paste from the website. These are the example of two container. Howells, the last name, comma, WD, their wedding journey, edited by John K. Reeves, comma, 1968, like, then full stop, a selected edition of W.D. Howells, general editor, comma, Edwin H. Caddy, volume 5, Indiana, UP, 1968-83. To find a suitable journey for your research, consider the journal's scope, audience, reputation, and your own research needs. Use tools like the Journal Guide, Elsevier, Journal Finder, or Springer Journal Suggester to help you to find potential journals. Also, check the journal's impact factor, peer review process, and publication fees. Now, explore journals. Browse journal by subject area. Many publishers like Taylor and Francis Online have categorized journals by subject, making it easier to find relevant options, says Taylor and Francis. So, search literature databases. Use tools like PubMed, Web of Science, or a Scopus to find articles related to your research and see which journals have published similar work. It is given by the Emory libraries. Use journal finder tools like the Elsevier Journal Finder or the Springer Journal Suggester can suggest journal based on your abstract or keyword. Evaluate journal. Check the journal's aim and scope. Does it align with your research area and the type of article you are writing? Consider the journal reputation. Look at its impact factor, editorial board, and affiliation. These are the things that you have to observe. Examine the publication fees and open access options. Understand the cost associated with publishing it in the journal. That is again very important. Review the journal submission guidelines. Pay attention to formatting requirements, length constraint, and other specific instruction. Consider the journal's publication frequency and turnaround time. How quickly does the journal publish article? This is a very important point. Look for peer-reviewed journal. This ensures that your work has been weighted by experts in the field, and be wary of predatory journal. Look for unprofessional language, excessive outreach, and lack of clear information. Now, some suggestions that you need to know. Don't be afraid to explore different options. It's okay to start with a list of potential journal and then refine it as you learn more about them. Consider your priorities. What is most important to you? A high impact factor, open access, quick publication, or something else? If you are unsure, seek advice from your advisor or colleagues. They may have valuable insights into journals in your field. Now, how to select a journal type? Open access, gold open access, GOA, free access to the final published version, typically on the publisher's website, and authors retain copyright. Consider open access journals for your submission. There are many benefits to publishing your paper in an open access journal. Open access journals provide free access to their content, which can significantly increase the reach and impact of your research. Journal access plays a crucial role in research methodology by enabling researchers to access and utilize published research for their own investigations. Open access journals, which make articles freely and immediately available online, facilitate the sharing and dissemination of research findings. This can lead to increased citation rates, wider impact, and faster progress in scientific understanding. The impact factor is a metric that measures the average number of citations to recent articles published in the journal. Journal impact factor is still the default method to analyze the quality and reputation of a journal. Now, visit the journal website once you have identified journals you want to explore. Visit the journal website. Now, bibliographic notes can help readers to keep their focus by decluttering text. Uses of bibliographic notes are to cite a lengthy string of sources, to explain an unusual documentation practice. Now, see Scythe, Culture and Imperialism and Orientalism, series The Natural Contract, Foucault, The Foucault Reader, especially Part 2. For more material related to postcolonial studies and technology, see McClintock, Imperial Leather, D. Landa, War in the Age of Intelligent Machines. Importance of journal access in research, access to existing research. Journals provide a platform for researchers to publish their findings, allowing others to build open existing knowledge. Literature review and synthesis. Researchers can utilize journal articles to conduct through literature reviews and synthesizes existing research on their topic. Inspiration and methodology. Journals can offer inspiration and guidance on research method, data analysis, and study design. Data availability and validation. Some journals requires authors to provide data access and retention, enabling researchers to validate findings and conduct replication studies. Open science and collaboration. Open access journals promote open science by making research accessible to a wider audience, fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing. Now, strategies for accessing journal articles. Search engine. Utilize search engines like Google Scholar or PubMed to locate relevant articles. University libraries. Many university libraries provide access to a vast collection of journals through subscription and open access initiative. Open access repositories. Search for open access repositories like core or individual university repositories to find freely available articles. Interlibrary loan. Request articles for other libraries through interlibrary loan if your university library doesn't have access. Contacting authors. If you cannot access a specific article, you can contact the author directly to request a copy, especially if they are willing to share their work. Now, what is access in the context of qualitative research? So, access is a dynamic and multidirectional process which depends on the researcher's ability to access and to develop a multiple vision and on the researcher's accessibility. Access influences the research process and results and is shaped by power dynamics. Awareness of the complexity of access will help qualitative researchers to make more conscious and deliberate decisions. For example, on which vantage points to include or exclude, or on how to protect participants and themselves. Now, anatomy of a scholarly article. When possible, keep your research questions in mind when reading a scholarly articles. It will help you to focus your reading. Now, title generally are straightforward and describe what the article is about. Title often include relevant key words. Abstract, a summary of the author's research findings and tells what to expect when you read the full article. It is often a good idea to read the abstract first in order to determine if you should even bother reading the whole article. So, introduction describes the topic or problem research had. The authors will present their arguments, thesis, or the research goal. Discussion and conclusion. Read these after the abstract. These sections can help determine if this article meets your research needs. If you don't think that it will, set it aside. Literature review may be included in the introduction or as the separate section. Here you see where the author enter the conversation on this topic. That is to say, what related research has come before and how do they hope to advance the discussions with their current research. Now, method. This section explains how their study worked. In this section, you often learn who and how many participated in the study and what they were asked to do. You will need to think critically about the methods and whether or not they make sense given the research question. Results. Here you will often find numbers and tables. If you are not an expert at statistics, this section may be difficult to grasp. However, you should attempt to understand if the results seem reasonable given the method. Works cited, also be called references or bibliography. This section comprises the author's sources. Always be sure to scroll through them. Good research usually cites many different kinds of sources, books, journal articles, etc. As you read the works cited page, be sure to look for sources that look like they will help you to answer your own research question. Now, what should be the characteristics of research journal? Research journals communicate the result of research in the field of a study covered by the journal. Research articles reflect a systematic and thorough study of a single topic, often involving experiments or surveys. Research journals may also publish review articles and book reviews that summarize the current state of knowledge on a topic. Now, appearance. Research journals lack the sleek advertising, classified ads, coupon, etc. found in particular magazines. Articles are often printed one column to a page as in books, and there are often graphs, tables, or charts referring to a specific point. Authority. Research articles are written by the persons who did the research being reported. When more than two authors are listed for a single article, the first author listed is often the primary researcher who coordinated or supervised the work done by the other authors. The most highly regarded scholarly journals are typically those sponsored by professional association such as American Psychological Association, American Chemical Society, Modern Language Association. Validity and reliability. Articles submitted to research journal are evaluated by an editorial board and other experts before they are accepted for publication. This evaluation, called peer review, is designed to ensure that the articles published are based on solid research that meets the normal standards of the field of study covered by the journal. Professors sometimes use the term refereed to describe peer-reviewed journal. Writing style. Now, articles in research journals usually contain an advanced vocabulary since the authors use the technical language or jargon of their field of study. The authors assume that the reader already possesses a basic understanding of the field of study. References. The authors of research article always indicate the sources of their information. These references are usually listed at the end of an article, but they may appear in the form of footnotes, endnotes, or bibliography. Periodicals that are not research journals. Popular magazines. Now, these are periodicals that one typically find at grocery stores, airport newsstand, or bookstores, at a shopping mall. Popular magazines are designed to appeal to a broad audience, and they usually contain relatively brief articles written in a readable, non-technical language. Now, news magazine. These periodicals, which are usually issued weekly, provide information on topics of current interest, but their articles seldom have the depth or authority of scholarly articles. Now, opinion magazines. These periodicals contain articles aimed at an educated audience interested in keeping up with current events or ideas, especially those pertaining to topical issues. Very often, their articles are written from a particular political, economic, and social point of view. Trade magazines. People who need to keep up with developments in a particular industry or occupation read these magazines. Many trade magazines publish one or more special issue each year that focus on industry statistics, directory list, or new product announcement. Now, crucial roles of journals in research and development. Journals play a crucial role in research and development by serving as platforms for the dissemination of scientific knowledge and promoting the advancement of various fields. They provide a structured and reliable system for researchers to publish their findings, enabling the broader scientific community to access, review, and build upon those discoveries. Numerous international journals have long been at the forefront of advancing knowledge and driving innovation in the field of research and development. Gateway to knowledge. Journals acts as vehicle for sharing research outcome with the global scientific community. They act as gatekeeper, providing researchers with a platform to disseminate their findings, share discoveries, and contribute to the collective body of knowledge. This sharing of knowledge is essential for the advancement of science and facilities the exchange of ideas and collaboration among researchers worldwide. Accelerating scientific progress. Journal propel scientific progress by fostering collaboration, facilitating the exchange of ideas, and encouraging researchers to build upon existing work. It is important to learn how the dissemination of research finding through journal promotes innovation and enables scientific breakthroughs. So, validity and credibility. Publishing research in reputable journal enhances its credibility and validity. The rigorous peer review process and the reputation of the journal provide an assurance that the research has been evaluated and deemed scientifically sound by experts in the field. Researchers often prioritize publishing in well-established journals to gain recognition and credibility within their respective discipline. Archives and access. Journals serve as archives of scientific knowledge, preserving research findings for future reference. By maintaining a record of published articles, journals contribute to the cumulative nature of scientific progress. Additionally, many journals have adopted digital platform, making research more accessible to a wider audience worldwide. Now, research impact and visibility. Publishing in recognized journals can significantly impact a researcher's career. The visibility and impact of their work are often measured through citation metrics such as the number of times an article is cited by other researchers. High quality research published in influential journals can lead to increased recognition, career advancement, and funding opportunity. Now, staying updated. Journals enable researchers to stay abreast of the latest advancement in their fields. By reading relevant journals, researchers can access new findings, methodologies, and insights, fostering innovation and preventing duplication of effort. Now, feedback and collaboration. Journal publications provide a platform for researchers to receive feedback and constructive criticism from the scientific community. Researchers can engage in discussions, debate, and collaborations through the comment section, letter to the editor, or subsequent research articles, facilitating further development and refinement of ideas. Thus, container or journal serve as the backbone of research and development, playing a vital role in disseminating knowledge, driving scientific progress, and shaping the future of various disciplines. Researchers, institutions, and society at large benefit from the important role played by journals in driving scientific progress. Understanding their significance empowers researchers, policymakers, and society at large to harness the full potential of journals in advancing knowledge and innovation. With this, I conclude the discussion on the container and the use of container, the type of citation and the documentation. Let us meet in another lecture with another topic under research methodology. Till then, thank you.